to another video. In this video I'll show you how to edit existing records in a table using Modal/custom actions and refresh parent. So what we are going to do is we're going to build two forms. One is going to be a parent. I've labeled a parent here. Second is going to be a child, and as you can see I've labeled that as child. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to call this one from this one and do edits. And this is purely because you'll come across limitations in the table where you can't set up something like restricted pick list, and you need to be able to do that, and also conditional logic. So this is such a good method to be aware of. What we're going to do is we're going to get a lookup, and in this lookup we are going to bring all accounts from Salesforce. Like this. Call this one accounts. And in the table below, which I'm going to bring right about now, we are going to bring contacts, but contacts to that account. So we'll bring like full name, we'll bring email, and we'll bring account ID. And then what I'm going to do is bring another hidden field, and I'll explain why I'm doing that in a second. So let's get this hidden field, and we'll call this hidden field contact ID. Alright, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go ahead and map this table to bring contacts to that account. Go to map fields, add object, choose contact, do condition, bring all. We're going to say account ID must equal my lookup, and then we'll just map our fields. So we'll say full name goes here, email goes here, account ID goes here, and we'll reference this to account name like that. Now apply and finish, save, and let's just give this a quick test. Let's say I do Titan, and now everything is there. This is good. Now wouldn't it be nice if there were buttons here and I could click on that button to modify this record in another form, child form? Now you can. So what you do is you click on the table, scroll down on the right hand side, click on advanced, click on custom actions, click configure, and you can name your button. I'm going to say modify contact, and then when I click on that button I want to pass a value into this hidden field, which is this one over here. So as you can see, if I refresh this now and I look up Titan, bunch of contacts, I click on the button and voila, there's your ID. Click on this one, there's the ID. I click on this one, there's the ID. Alright, now what can you do from here really? Few things. I'm going to move this to a side here. We're going to build up a child form. In our child form, we're going to get a hidden field. Again, it's going to be contact ID. And then we're going to get full name. I'm going to get email. And I'm going to get a button. So again, in this here, you can literally build this to whatever you want. This is the sort of place where you don't really get restrictions, because technically another form really. So you can set up conditional logic, you can set up mandatory, non-mandatory, you can bring like restricted pick list, all of that stuff. What you want to do is in your child form, once you've set up these sort of parameters, the reason why I've set this up is this is what I'm going to pass in this form from my parent form. And what I'm going to do now is take this URL, go back to my parent, click on this hidden field, do conditioning, set conditions, and say if current field is not empty, go ahead and take me to this form. But open it in Modal, and the width I want to set it is 1000, height is going to be about 600. Actually, you know what, in 500 is good. So this is what I'm doing. I'm saying when that field is not empty, take me to this form, open it in Modal. Now this is the main part here. You see this here, this parameter contact ID, I want to pass it into this one here, which is FLD1581, which you'll find it here. So what you want to do is you want to set parameters, and then you want to do FLD1581, which is the value in the other form. Just like that. Click apply, 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 save, and now let's just test. So let's say I do Titan, my contact, I click, and voila. You see, this ID has been passed from here. If I click this, again, my ID has been passed from here. So now in this child form, you can do a get. You can bring data directly in here. So let's do that. We go to our child, Salesforce integration, we do a get, we'll say bring from contact. And then condition is going to be contact ID equals contact ID. And then we want to bring back first name, last name, email, like that. Apply and finish. And now let's test this as well. So if we close and I click on this, you can see because of that ID, there's your data. Alright? Same thing here. Because of that ID, there's your data. So relatively simple and straightforward. Now that's all well and good, but what if I wanted to update and then also close the modal? This is how you do it. Get another hidden field. Call this one close modal for now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a push. And my push is going to be a custom action. I'm going to say contact. I'm going to say update. Contact ID equals contact ID. Click apply. Map fields. I'm going to map last name, first name, email. Straightforward and simple. Finish. And then I'm going to assign that custom action over here. Like this. Now, let's test this. So if I click Sherlock here, get rid of 2, click submit, and it's done. Okay, we know it's done. Because if I click here now, you see the 2 will disappear. Now this is good, but I don't really want this to stay up really. I want this to close after the update's been done, and also refresh my parent at the same time. How do I do that? Well, first thing you need to do is set up a get in here to do the refresh. So what you can do is you can go to the get, and essentially you can copy this like that, and then run it in a custom action like this, and we will call this one refresh like that. I mean, there are a few ways of doing it, but I'm just going to show you the table refresh very quickly. So here's the table refresh. We'll click save here, but what we need to do is we need to close the modal. So this, I'm going to say pass, once the ID is completed, pass it to close modal. What does this mean in grand scheme of things? This is what it means. So let's say I go back in here, I'll look up Titan, and let's say I modify Sherlock 2 or 1. Once this is done, look, it's passing that ID back in here, okay, of that same record really. Now, what you can do is in the child form, you can write a condition. You can say, if current field is not empty, go ahead and execute some JS. Alright, and this is what you want to do. Like, this is, copy this, go over here, and you'll see some of our JS functions. Alright, got everything here, like close Modal and refresh its opener. And this is the one we can use. Just copy this and just paste it like that. That's all you need to do. Click apply, 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 save, and now let's test. So if I close this now, and let's say I go to Mr. Sherlock, and then I do 1, 2, 3, submit it, you can see it's going to, once done it, and then go ahead and reload the parent. Alright, now obviously once it's reloaded here, technically it's just reset the form, so sometimes you don't really want to do that. What you actually, only thing you want to do is actually refresh this over here. So what you want to do is this. You want to pass a value into this and then run that action. So let me show you how that's done as well. So let's get another hidden. Alright, and we'll call this one refresh table, like this. And we'll click save. And then this field value is FLD1582. So what you want to do is go over here, configure conditions, configure results, and what you want to do is, again, execute some JS here, but this time it's a different type of JS. So I'm just going to copy this over here. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to set the value in our parent form. So this is FLD1582. We're going to say set value 1582 by value. I think this one's 1585. So we're going to do, 1585. So in over here, we're going to say set by 1585. So we're saying whatever the value is in 1585, set it to 1582 in the main form and then close the modal. So now let's test this. So if we save, and then I'm just going to refresh this. So let's do Titan, modify contact, click submit, and you can see maybe I didn't save it. Yeah, I didn't save it, my bad. Okay, let's save it. Let's try again. Let's refresh our form. Let's do Titan. There's our hidden field. Like that. We'll do Tim123, submit it. And you can see that from that parent form, we've passed it into the child form. And now what you can do is this. On this one, set condition, you can say if current field is not empty, go ahead and run your Salesforce action, which is our table refresh, like this. So now, if I click save, and let's just run this again, let's do Python, let's do Tim blogs, let's get 1, 2, 3 rid of, post this in here, and look at that. You see? It's refreshed this table. So if I now go ahead and do blogs 1, 2, 3, submit, and look at that. Alright, so this is how you do it. This is like a very comprehensive video with very, very small nuances everywhere. And yeah, and I hope you enjoyed it and then taken something from it. Let us know if you need anything else.